think would win versus Brendan and Nate?
I actually would give a lot more credit to Nate than people are. I understand the perspective, but it's like, I've worked out with Brendan. Brendan has no cardio. He's full of quit. He has not trained MMA in 10 fucking years. It's like, who do you have? Like Francis Ngannou or Chuck Liddell?
Yeah.
You know, it's not the same thing. Nate probably walks around at 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Brendan's strong. I haven't seen him train jiu-jitsu for 10 fucking years. I think he tore 2 hamstrings trying to run 40 yards. What the fuck are we talking about?
I have another question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a praying mantis bark?
No. What is that?
You didn't know about that?
No.
So, Brendan in his rant against Nate Diaz was like, you're a fucking praying mantis barking at a lion.
Yes. I did see that in the woods. Wasn't it like a fucking reference to like Kung Fu Panda or some shit?
It might. Wow. Because all his references are kids movies. Like,
Yeah, it's no references whatsoever. It's like if Brendan Schaub says something funny, it's like you guarantee he fucking stole it from somebody else. You know? What are you gonna do? Volume punch me, motherfucker? What are you gonna do?
That was in picture.
Gas the fuck out in 1 minute. Remember, Brendan? I've run
Toy Story.
before.
What are you gonna do? Above and beyond or whatever.
We used to train for Tough Mudders, and at the time, like during the pandemic, I used to run half marathons for fun. Like, no big deal. I'm just saying, like, because I didn't have anything else to do, so I'd go like long distance running all the time. And you'd be like, man, we need to train for this Tough Mudder. Like, Brendan, I can run 9 miles in sleep. But sure, we can go run. We would go run 1 mile to like from like Zoo Culture to like Burbank Boulevard and back, which was like a mile total. And he'd like half-ass jog halfway, then like stop and then go back. So he'd run like a 1 mile, like 11-minute mile. And so he just has a lot of quit. I just don't think he's like, you know, he at some point he was a good fighter. I just think that was 10 plus years ago.
Didn't he say he woke up at 4 a.m. and ran 3 miles or something?
He said on camera that he ran a sub 5-minute mile. The fastest I've ever run at 220 pounds on a 2% incline on a treadmill was a 5:55-minute mile. It made me want to shit my pants. Like I got off, it was like, see, it felt like you're running from a bear. Like that. If you've ever done a sub 6-minute mile pace over 200 pounds, like it's so tough. The idea that he would have run 4 laps around a track and beat me by 15 seconds each lap. He said this in a video on Buttery Bros. I'm gonna go look for it. But he like, because the dude, like one of the dudes from Buttery Bros, Marcy, was like, sub 5, huh? Sub 5. Like trying to get him to be like, oh, maybe it was 6. He was like, sub 5, huh? So you ran a 4:59-minute mile. As a UFC heavyweight.
But he played for the Buffalo Bills.
And he kept reiterating and doubling down. I hope it's still on video. Because they filmed it. I don't know if it made it in the edit, but it's like, what? And also, 40 reps on it. He said, 42 reps on it.
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
Nonsense.
The plates at Zoo Culture are light, first of all, so it was probably like 42 pounds each. So the weight was probably like 215. He did 30 reps like this. Like half reps, you know, which is fine, whatever. But you know, I did 33 reps like for college football testing at the age of 19. So suck my dick. But he just turns like 30 like half bouncy reps, ass up in the air with like less weight than 225 into 42 reps. And also tells the story in the context of like, I'm talking to Hafthor Bjornsson, one of the strongest people on the entire planet, and he asked me how many times I can get 225, and Thor's like, oh, I got 36, and Brendan's like, oh yeah, I got 42, and Thor's like, show me. Brendan's narrative, and Thor was like, look at this psycho, asked you like he's so competitive, he wants me to do it right now. I'm like, no, Brendan, he's calling you out on your bullshit, because he's looking at you going, there's zero fucking chance in hell that you can do 40 plus reps of 225 on bench press. But he's framing it as like, Thor's this hyper competitive psychopath. All he did was ask you to show up to the gym and prove it.
Okay, so we have...
It's like, oh, you're stronger than me? 400-pound world record strongman holding Thor Bjornsson?
He probably saw Brendan's thigh. And then once you say that,
Yeah, game over.
question.
Yeah. All right, guys.
All right, so we have Brendan Schaub's former handler, Mark Harley, basically saying, well, I had said that no way in hell Brendan Schaub would ever beat Nate Diaz in a fight. And he brought up something I specifically brought up. This guy blew out both of his hammies running in a race against Chappelle Lacey. You think he's actually going to beat Nate Diaz. But I like everything else that Mark Harley exposed about him, about how he would only run a mile and he would half-ass it and be tired. And like, the dude hasn't trained for MMA in a decade. And Brendan Schaub is just a bitch now. I mean, the way Brendan Schaub handles things is he sues people who make fun of him. I'm just surprised he didn't sue Nate Diaz for calling him a pussy. But, I mean, Mark Harley did work with this man up close. He would know. And I think I'm going to go with Mark Harley's assessment here. And the whole thing Brendan Schaub has is, well, I'm bigger. Yeah, but you're also older. You're in your 40s. And you're stupid. So, like, you're stupid. And, like, I would assuming they're not going to fight in MMA. If it was a street fight, I mean, come on. Brendan Schaub would stand absolutely no chance. But in an MMA fight, I don't see it happening. You're too old, you're too fat, and he's too out of shape to compete with Nate Diaz. Just because you're bigger really doesn't mean anything in a fight. It means a little, but I mean, if the size difference was astronomical, and I don't believe that the size difference between them is astronomical, but I mean, it's been a while since we've had a Mark Harley sighting. Mark Harley, another guy who left Brendan Schaub and started doing way better. He hooked up with that dude, and they do those, are they TikTok videos? Or Instagram videos, you know, the quick 1 minute things that get like 3 million views every time they post one. So he's another person who got away from Brendan Schaub and instantly just started doing better career-wise and probably life-wise, not having to deal with this idiot and having to hide the addies and the baddies and cover up for his lies and everything. So good to see Mark Harley chilling with some ginger dude, and shout out to Chat Enabled. Well, whoever went up and interviewed Mark Harley about this. Like I said, this seems like a guy just randomly saw him chilling at a restaurant. But he brought up everything and it was hilarious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.